Yes guys, we keep it moving and we keep improving. I hope everyone got to work safe this morning. It was snowing, it was horrible, so I hope there's been no accidents and everyone's okay in the UK. This is a new series, episode 1, called Make Swaps, Not Sacrifices, and we're going to be talking about foods that we can exchange for better, healthier, and it's got a better nutritional value in the foods. So this is called Make Swaps, Not Sacrifices. Let's go. So number 1, Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. This is one of my favourites on my cheat days back in my day. I used to eat a whole tub. So let's go. Per 100 gram, carbs 31 gram, fats 15 gram, protein 4.1 gram, sugars 25 gram, and the calories are 273 per 100 gram. And the tub has 5 servings. So on average, one of those tubs are about 490 gram per tub. I used to have one of them every weekend. I'm a rascal. And what's the better alternative for this then? So the better alternative is a halo top gooey brownie. So per 100 gram, the carbs are 22 gram, the fats are 3.7 gram, the protein is 4.6 gram, and the sugars are 11 gram. Calories per 100 gram is 130, and the tub has 5 servings, so it's the same sort of size again. It's about 490 gram per tub. So as you can see with the difference, in the Ben & Jerry's there's 25 grams of sugar, in the Halo Top there's 11 grams of sugar. Protein in the Ben & Jerry's per 100 gram is 4.1 gram, and the protein in the Halo Top is 4.6. The carbs in the Ben & Jerry's is 31 gram, and the Halo Top has 22 gram. So you can see straight away the major difference. The sugar's lower, the protein's higher, the fat content is better, and it has better carbohydrates as well. So I would recommend, if you're on that lifestyle journey and you're changing your lifestyle, I would recommend swapping your Ben & Jerry's for a Halo Top, and you can have that within your meal plans as well, depending on how strict you are and how consistent you are. So that's what I would recommend. So that's food choice number 1. Number 2, we're talking about Coca-Cola per 100 ml. So the carbs in a can of Coke per 100 ml is 10.6 gram carbohydrates. The fats are 0, proteins are 0, and there's a whopping 10.6 gram per 100 milliliters. Sorry, not gram, per 100 milliliters. And the calories are 130 per 100 milliliters. Let's do a comparison on Coke Zero. So with the Coke Zero per 150 ml, carbs 0 gram, fats are 0, proteins are 0, and sugars are 0. So straight away, a Coke Zero is much better than a full fat can of Coke. So again, if you're a person that loves fizzy pop, I would recommend switching it to a Coke Zero. But do remember, in the Coke Zero, there still contains, if I pronounce it right, aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener, and it's 200 times sweeter than sucrose. So just because it's a Coke Zero, don't think you can indulge in these every day. I would still recommend having these probably 2 or 3 times a week. I would recommend, don't try and have one twice a day because it's Coke Zero and it's got no calories. It's still got a sugar replacement in there. So be careful how you intake that. I wouldn't personally, me, wouldn't overindulge in fizzy drinks at all. But if you're a person that loves your fizzy drinks, so be it. The Coke Zero is better than a full fat can, so I would recommend that. And the third one is going to be McCain's sweet potato fries. So in these McCain's sweet potato fries per 100 gram, the carbs are 17 gram, the fats are 4.4, the protein's 1.3 gram, and the sugars are 7.9. Every 100 gram you eat, you're taking in 117 calories. So I'm going to show you something with these ingredients. So with the McCain's sweet potato, they say there's 90% sweet potato in it, but if you look at the ingredients, it's got It's got batter in, maize flour, rice flour, modified maize starch, I can't pronounce that, tapioca starch, salt, maize starch, dextrin, raisin agent E450, stabilizer E415, turmeric extract, paprika extract and sunflower oil. Can you see how many ingredients are in the sweet potato fries in the McCain's? So here's a comparison. This is me and this is my opinion again. I would recommend, if I had a client or somebody I was taking on board, to do your own sweet potato fries with a sweet potato, a whole food, a single ingredient food. Don't go for the ones that are already made in the freezer section. So as you can see, per 100 gram, the carbs are 23.7 gram, the fats are 0.3 gram, the protein is 1.2 gram, and the sugar is 5.7, and the calories is 98 gram per 100 gram. And always remember, with sweet potato, that sugar is natural sugar within the sweet potato. It's not man-made. It's not refined. It's not what you get in chocolates and processed food. So that's a normal sugar. That's fine to have an intake. So me personally, again, I make my own sweet potato fries at home. Put a bit of olive oil on them, a bit of paprika, put them in the oven, and Bob's your uncle. They're perfect. Avoid the freezer section McCain sweet potato fries. That's my opinion. They probably taste sweeter, they're probably crunchier, but they've got so much ingredients in, it can mess with your stomach, it can give you acne, it can even make you go to the toilet and do a number 2. It can give you a different sort of reactions for different people. So I would recommend going for the single ingredient food and making your own sweet potato. The next one is a 12 orange chocolate bar. So in this chocolate bar, the chocolate bar is 43 gram. So the carbs in this chocolate bar is 26 grams. The fats are 12.6 gram. The protein is 3 gram. The sugars are 24 gram. And the calories per bar are 114. This is only a 43 gram bar, and it has 26 grams of carbohydrates. The fats in this one little bar is 12.6. The sugars in this bar is 24 gram. That is a crazy ratio for a small little chocolate bar. And this is what I would have to replace it. There's a lot of people out there that will say this is shit food and blah blah blah. But I'm on about someone that's got a sweet tooth and needs to replace that something with something else. So let's go on to the Grenade Oreo bar. This is a 60 gram bar. The carbs are 28 gram. No, the carbs are 20 grams, sorry. The fats are 10 gram. The protein is 21 gram, and the sugars are 1.3 gram, and the calories are 233. So granted, there's more calories if you're a person that tracks calories in the bar, but compared to the other bar, the protein is 21 gram. There's only 3 gram in the 12. The carbohydrates are 20 gram in a 60 gram bar. The other bar had 26 in a 43 gram bar. The fats are only 10 gram, and the fats in the smaller bar are 12.6. So you do what you like with that. The sugars are 24, and the sugars in the Grenade bar are 1.3. So if you're a person that's got a sweet tooth, it's completely fine to switch your chocolate bars and make it, when you're making that transition, to a Grenade bar. There's plenty of good protein bars on the market that can satisfy that sweet tooth. So I wouldn't recommend having protein bars every day of the week and killing them. But if you're just starting on your journey and you're trying to get rid of that sugar craving, I would recommend switching it to a bar that has less sugar in and has some protein in there. Why not? And on to the final one is Warburton's bread. So per 100 gram in Warburton's bread, the protein is 9.1 gram, the fats are 2 gram, the carbs are 46.4 gram, and the sugars are 3 gram, and the calories are 244 per 100 gram. 100 gram in bread is classed as about 2 slices of bread. So I'm going to talk through the ingredients in this Warburton's bread. So in this Warburton's bread, you've got obviously flour, it's got calcium, iron in, your B3s, it's got water, yeast, salt, vegetable oils, rapeseed oil, sustainable palm, soya flour, calcium, emulsifiers, E472E, E481, flour treatment agents, and vitamin C. So again, bread is supposed to have about at least 4 to 5 ingredients in. So I would recommend to swap your Warburton's bread for a sourdough bread. And a sourdough bread per 100 gram, the protein is 9.49 gram, the fats are 0.69 gram, the carbs are 22, the sugars are 1.34 gram, and the calories are 240 per 100 gram. So if you're a bread lover, I would 100% recommending swapping your bread over to sourdough bread, 100%. So as you can see, the carbs in the Warburton's bread is 46.4 gram per 2 slices. With the sourdough bread, the carbohydrates are only 22 gram per 2 slices. In the sourdough bread, the sugars is 1.34 gram. In the Warburton's bread, it's 3 gram. The protein in the Warburton's is 9.1 gram, and in the sourdough bread, it's 9.49 gram. The fats in the Warburton's, as you can see, is 2 gram, and in the sourdough bread is 0.69 gram. So overall, again, the sourdough bread has less ingredients in. I'm not saying it's the ultimate best, but if you're a person that loves your bread, I would go to the supermarket and have sourdough bread. I have sourdough bread on a weekend with a couple of fried eggs. I have it once a week. So if you're a person that loves bread, another tip for you, if you're having toast, try not just to have toast. Have toast with avocado and eggs. Have toast with tuna and a bit of cheese. Have toast with some chicken sausages. Try and have toast with some sort of protein and fats. Don't just eat the protein, don't just eat the slice of bread or have some toast on its own, but it's just a carbohydrate. It just spike your insulin levels straight away without having no protein or fats involved. So try and mix and match it with your proteins and fats, and it will get your insulin levels lower if you mix it with proteins and fats. So people, that is the first episode, part 1 of Make Swaps Not Sacrifices. So there's 5 different foods where you can swap them over, and it's a better range. I'm not saying all of the other range is completely healthier, but it's a better option than having the full fat version or the version that's got 15, 16, 20 ingredients in. If you like this video, please share, like, subscribe. If you want another video like this, please comment below and tell me what foods you want me to talk about in Swaps Not Sacrifices. So be extraordinary and dare to be different.